chance that we can make it so far. We stop believing now we can be who we are. Greece is the word that you heard. It's got groove, it's got meaning.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live with Kim. We are back. It is another Tuesday night. Thank you so much for joining us. I see Ryan has already entered and is starting to chat away. So, guys, this really is about you guys and me and us hanging out and just having fun and, just talking gig work. And, as I was driving this week, it really got me thinking. There are so many really nice and kind drivers out there. And then there are some drivers that you come encounter with and you go, why are you even driving? So it really got me thinking, do you actually like doing food delivery? Do you like doing these gig apps? Like, do you truly enjoy what you do? So it really got me thinking about all of this as like my week has gone by. And before we even really dive into this tonight, first of all, hi Brian, welcome. Hey Bubba Sue, what's going on? Christopher Taylor, thank you so much for gifting those members. I really appreciate it. Michael the entrepreneur, how are you? Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Thomas, what's going on? So it really, so you guys can answer this right now. Do you guys like doing food delivery? Do you like working these gig apps? Go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead. Put it in the chat. If you're watching the replay or watching the podcast, you can actually put in the comment section. Michael, yes and no. Okay. I'm going to actually give you my complete honest answer to this. Bubba Sue, you do. Okay, fantastic. So here's my here are my thoughts, and I'm going to be completely honest and real with you. Yes, but it depends on the day. So, you know, there are days, right, that you go out and you make money and everything is fantastic and you love what you do and like you're on cloud nine and you think it's like the best thing ever, right? Like if you're multi-apping, like you're just taking order after order after order and you're like, this is the best thing ever. Or you get like an amazing catering order that you're like, oh my God, this is gonna like make my whole entire day. And I personally love about gig work is I love the customer service part of it, right? Like I love interacting with people. Whether it's the restaurants or whether it's the customers themselves, right? Like I love, and I can honestly say like I'm passionate about it, right? That's why I love what we do. Besides the normal stuff like flexibility and stuff we always talk about, and of course the money. But it's really amazing that there are days, and I think we can all relate to this. There are some really frustrating days. I'm not gonna lie, right? There are days that, like this past week, we went through, like at least here, like a ridiculous heat wave that lasted what 4 or 5 days. That it was reaching like 100 degrees, and you're like, oh my god, I just don't want to go out there. And you have the choice to go out. I mean, if you choose not to, you're not gonna make money, but you have choices. But like we have those days where it's frustrating, right? You wake up and you're like, yeah, no, I totally don't want to do this today. And I think we all have those days. Does anybody else have those days? It's okay. We're amongst friends. We can chat it up. Let me know if you ever had those frustrating days that you're like, I just don't want to do this today, because I think we've all had them. And For me, it literally is about, those days for me, like, ever get those days where, like, you don't want to maintain the high AR of DoorDash, right? But then you turn on other apps and you work other apps, but like you're just done. But it's okay because the way I look at it is tomorrow is just a new day, right? Like you can really go out and clear your head for some days and go and start the day all over again. But do I really enjoy it? The answer is yes. I really do enjoy what I do, but I think we all have those frustrating days, right? Am I the only one, or do you guys have those days too? I mean, like I'm telling you, that heat wave was was absolutely ridiculous this past week. We don't see heat waves. I mean, we see heat waves, but usually it doesn't happen until like August, maybe the end of July, and bam, summer's here. It was really out there, right? Okay, so it means it's not perfect, but it works for me. Yeah, I don't think anything is perfect, right? If you go to a W-2 job, there are some aspects that you're going to absolutely love about it and you're going to think it's the best job ever. And then you're going to get those days where you're frustrated and you're like, why am I still here? Why haven't I quit yet? Why am I not looking for another job? But then you have another good day and you're like, okay, this is my job today. I'm not going to come to work and I'm putting a smile on my face. And but I feel like it's the same exact concept, whether you're in a W 2 or whether you're actually out there doing gig work. It's just, are you passionate about what you can do? I mean, I can honestly say, yeah, because I truly love the interaction. I mean, not just gig work. I love the interaction on YouTube. I love the interaction with you guys. Like to me, that's the human connection, right? That's what I truly love. And maybe it's because I come from a customer service background and HR background. Maybe it's just automatically in me, but I love that people piece. So, Bud Soda, you love helping people. And he's at it again. That's awesome. Yeah, see, you're kind of with me, right? I know. See, Christopher Taylor, you are you're used to the heat, right? Like you live in like heat land, you're used to it. Us over here in the East Coast, we're not used to this god awful humidity and heat. And I think you guys have dry heat, right? You have just heat. Like do you have humid? I don't think you have humidity, right? I don't know, I could be wrong, but the humidity makes it just not bearable to breathe. That you walk outside and like you try to take like a gulp of air and you're like, oh, it's ridiculously hard to breathe out there, and I feel bad for a lot of people out there, who have those problems with breathing and, who really have a hard time with these heat waves, but, so you love helping people and meeting lots of interesting folks, making people laugh, smile, and some dark humor per Army's 10th Mountain Division. That's awesome. Right? We all have those days. Like, it just really, honestly, it really got me thinking. And it wasn't anything in particular. And it could have been people who were cranky last week because of the heat wave and no one wanted to be out. But man, there were a lot of cranky people out there. But every time I went out there, even though I might not have wanted to be out there, like I still put a smile on my face. I still treat people with kindness. I still go out and put my best foot forward, and when you come across drivers that don't exactly have the same mentality, that's where it really got me thinking. Does everybody truly enjoy what we do? And, I've been doing this now for 6, 7 years, something to that effect. Some part time, a lot of it full time. And I've said this many times. I have thousands and thousands of deliveries. We won't all add it up tonight. Um, but sometimes it just kind of takes a toll on you, and it's okay. It's just, what do you do about it? Um do you put it beside you and like move on? Do you just sometimes I'm like, I'm done for the day. I'm going home because that's the beauty of what you do, right? Yeah, humidity makes you sweat and lose liquid. It was so gross. I think last week, one of those days we were in like 78 to 80% humidity. It was horrible. Um, I felt bad just because it was like the last week of school for us in our area as well. So kids were still going to school last week in the ridiculous heat. But so what do you guys do when you get frustrated with these apps? Um, just let me know. Do you, especially like do you work one single app? Do you work multiple apps? Like, what do you do? Do you just say, nah, I'm going home, screw it? I'm done for the day. What do you do when you guys get frustrated? Do you say, nope, next tomorrow's a new day, we'll start all over again? Do you push through and keep going because you need to make the money? Like, what do you guys do when you get like that frustration going on? It's monsoon season here. Oh, I'm so sorry. So high heat, high humidity lows. Yeah. See, I'm just not built. I'm not. I always say like I'm not built for the extreme temperatures, right? I'm not built for like the extreme cold when it reaches like that 0 degrees and like you go outside and you lose your breath because it is so cold outside. But I'm also not built for like the extreme heat either. Like So, what do you guys do when you get frustrated? Well, for me, and it just depends, right? Depends. Maybe it might be an app I'm frustrated with. Like, I think we've all had that brief moment in history where I think we've all been there. We're like, I don't want to keep taking crap orders, and we know what what app I'm talking about, DoorDash. But it's all good, right? Because if you're multi-apping, just turn it off and go to Uber Eats, Grubhub, Instacart. Like I have 16 apps that I can choose from. So, whatever it is, like there's always a way, right? Of making money. It's just limiting your frustrations. And I think that's what I've learned over the years of doing this is really like how do you limit your frustrations. And for me, and I've been a preacher of this for years, everybody asks me a lot of times, Kim, like how do you constantly maintain a high acceptance rate on DoorDash? And it literally is because of multi-apping. The minute like DoorDash gives me like two like bad orders in a row and they're just not giving me what I want, you know what? DoorDash goes off and I turn on Uber Eats or I turn on Grubhub or Instacart or Walmart Spark. Like there's so many things that you can do that when you're frustrated, you can move on. Like there's not just one option out there to make money. You can make money in so many different ways. And, I get so I don't want to say I get tired of it, but I get frustrated myself when I hear that like you can't make money or you like it's dead or I've even said it's oversaturation. Like I really truly some of it might be oversaturation. I'm not going to lie because I've said it before, but I had to kind of look at myself. Like this is as soon as I for myself started tuning out everything else around me and I started worrying about myself and the money I was making and how I was making it, like my mindset and everything just completely changed. And I think that has a lot to do with multi-apping and having different options to choose from. So there's multiple ways of you making your money. Yeah. Okay, so Bubba, so you try to push through, but sometimes I just go home, recharge, and go out later. Sometimes that's the best way of doing it. I have my days that I do that too. Like there are many days where like these apps just aren't doing it for me. Like there are days I'm like, you know what? I would rather be at home, be spending time with my family, having them put a smile on my face opposed to being out there and being frustrated. And we all have those days, right? There's highs and lows of the gig apps and these gig economies. There are days, like I said in the beginning, that you can make so much money. And then there are days that you're like, where did the money go? I am not making absolutely anything. And I think there's no 2 days that are the same, right? There are days that you can be making $400. There can be days that you make $100. These apps are just so unpredictable, especially now, right? There's not many as many customers ordering. There's many more drivers out on the road. There are so many factors that go into how our daily lives are affected by how these gig apps perform. But hey, Becky, how are you? Welcome. They need to get rid of the tier program. The old way was better, you know? What I've learned is I just go out and I take orders and I make money. However, whatever app is going to give me money, that's the app I'm working. If it means that I have to maintain a high acceptance rate to get good orders on DoorDash, you know what? I'll still do it, but I might be making money a different way on Uber Eats or Instacart. Like, I really feel like I have taken multi-apping to even a new level for me, right? Like I've preached for years, multi-app, multi-app, multi-app. Even though I do a lot of DoorDash content on this channel, it doesn't mean that I don't have multiple streams of income coming in. But I kind of went back to the basics, right? So and I've done this probably for the past 2, 3-ish weeks is, how was I making money 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? And I applied some of the principles that were working back then. Granted, it is a completely different time, but the principles don't ever really change that much. So I've been applying the principles that I had 4 or 5 years ago, and it has stepped up my multi-apping game to the point where I don't care what order is coming in. I'm going to take it. I'm going to keep the wheels moving and I'm going to make my money. And that's the way I've been living these past, couple of weeks and going out and making sure I hit my goals every day. Mm. So you were gonna do ship today, but you came home after your catering order. Well, good for you. I hope you rested and relaxed and yeah. Did you see that Shipt is testing 2-hour delivery windows? I was it a couple months ago that they announced that they were doing it, but I'll be honest, I haven't turned on Shipt in I'm surprised, I'll be honest. I'm not. I'm still on Ship, to be honest with you. It's been a while since I've even turned on Ship to really see it, but it'd be interesting to see how that works. Mm. Yeah, I don't know whether they're good principles, but when things aren't working, right? So if you're relying just on DoorDash, I'm not saying there are some drivers who do just rely solely on DoorDash. But when you rely solely just on one app and that is your main way of making money, right? You're limiting yourself to the potential of what you can possibly earn. At least for me, and the way that I operate. When you if you're only working one app and you got frustrated with that one app, and we're gonna, say just for shits and giggles, it's DoorDash, right? Like you're frustrated of maintaining a high acceptance rate. You're frustrated because they're not giving you the orders that you want to get. You're frustrated because you can't get on schedule and it comes out at midnight. If you don't have other apps, then you're still going to be frustrated with that one app because you don't have a means of saying, forget it, I'm not working it, and moving on to something else. And I feel like sometimes, and including myself, and I'm going to put myself in that mix, like I feel like sometimes we forget about the basics of what we do. Like I really believe that, and including myself, like sometimes I forget Like, what does multi-apping really mean? Like, what did multi-apping for me 4 years ago mean? Like, I feel like 4 or 5 years ago, like I was a machine. Like, I had a system down pat that before an order was done, I already had an order before the drop off. So I knew exactly where I was going to the next order. And, I wasn't waiting around for the best and baddest order. Like, I was just taking orders just so I can make money and I can make the wheels turn. And, it actually took me to kind of go back. And I guess this is where YouTube is good, right? I went back to some of my ride alongs from like a couple of years ago. And I'm like, what was I doing back then that I was making X amount of money? And today I'm making the same goals never changed, but something shifted. And it could be the apps are performing differently. It could mean a whole bunch of different stuff. But when something's not working or it appears to be broken, you pivot and you figure out what can you do as a driver differently that's going to make you more money, or in my case, what did I do in the past that I was so successful in the past that might work right now? And that's I guess that's the beauty of YouTube. I was able to go back and go, what the heck was I doing? Oh, that's what I was doing. Okay, let's try that again. And that's what I really found out. And it literally has been like multi-apping, multi-apping. And there are differences between back then and now, right? Like you have, shop and delivers weren't as big years ago as they are now. Like I've been doing, especially with the heat wave, I've been doing a lot of shop and delivers on any platform. During the heat wave, if it was a shop and deliver, I'll be honest, I was taking it to get out of the heat and into air condition for, even if it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes to do a shop, right? And it was like, let's get out of the heat. So like I was like a shopping queen last week during the heat because I didn't want to be out there. I would rather be inside. But because of that, like I was getting, I feel like a lot of these apps too, and you guys are going to have to let me know if you find this, the more of a specific type of delivery you do, the more they send you, right? So and this is any app. This could be Uber Eats, it could be Grubhub, it could even be DoorDash. If you are known to, okay, she's going to take shop and delivers, we're just going to keep sending our shop and delivers, and you can get into like a shop and deliver role or groove. And I feel I was saying this the other day to another driver. I'm like, it's almost like, they got a live one. We got one. They'll shake shop and pays. Let's just keep the shoving it her way. And I really feel like they're like, okay, we got someone who finally can do shop and pays. Let's just keep sending it to her. And I'm okay with that if it's going to keep making me money, right? I think it was, right? Instacart is a way to beat the heat. Like it was a savior for me last week with the heat. Like I'm like, I don't want to keep getting in and out of my car because right, you turn off your car. Even if you go into a restaurant for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, by the time you get back out to your car, like your car is like sweltering. Even if you put it in the shade and you're like, oh my God, I have to bear through like the heat in the car before it cools down again. Like I would rather be doing Instacart and these shops that could take 20 minutes, an hour. I did one that was like a triple batch last week on Instacart, and it took me an hour and a half. And I'm like, oh, thank God I'm in the air conditioning for a good length of time and I'm not out, dealing with all of that. But yeah, and I think this is a thing. Pivoting is a real thing, and it can be on any aspect of what you do, right? Like you're never, if you stay the same, are you ever going to grow? And that can be anything in life. I feel like I'm being philosophical right now. And that's anything in life, right? If you don't do things differently, you're always going to stay stagnant and you might not reach your full potential in gig work. You might not reach your full potential in making money. If you don't pivot in YouTube, you might not be successful in growing what you need to do in YouTube. In life, if you don't make changes in life, you might just stay stagnant and not reach your full potential. And I think pivoting, Thomas, you said that right. Pivoting is a real thing no matter what you do, right? So, Becky, I had to pivot from Instacart that was doing insane for me since getting Diamond, but literally broke instantly one day a few weeks ago, getting only boosted orders. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, I hope it fixes itself for you. I'm assuming you called support. I think we actually chatted about that a couple weeks ago. Oh. So you chatted with 20 people and says your count is fine when it's not, but I had to pivot even doing some good old DoorDash numerates. I am sorry because I know you were killing it on Instacart for a while, but I'm so sorry. But you realized that something was broken, right? But instead of just sticking with something that's broken, you're trying new things in order to make your money. And I think that is I think a lot of times as drivers, we forget about that, right? Like we forget about if I do this and getting out of our comfort zone. I can't tell you through my YouTube career, through my DoorDash career, through multi-hopping career, right? Like it's sometimes hard to make changes and try something new, but once you do it, like it's getting yourself out of your comfort zone. I can't tell you how many things I've done out of my comfort zones over these past like couple of years, but sometimes the risk is worth the rewards. And sometimes you have to make a risk and get out of your comfort zone in order for you to reap the benefits of making money again. So, Amanda, music. You use music when you need to keep going. Music is a great motivator. It really is. Um, I turn on, I know some people, I used Spotify for a while. I now moved on to Apple Music. Whatever you do, whether it's podcasts, music, whatever, sometimes like to get me going before I even start my shift, like I have to have like a really good, like either like a rock song or I have to like get like myself pumped up to get my day started. I'm like, I'm gonna have a good day today. And do you guys have like that one song that's like pumping you up and you're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna start my day. Like those inspiration might even be an inspirational songs. I don't know. But I do. I have my own like playlist, whether it's working out or whether it's gig work that's gonna like motivate me to like kick my butt into gear. But it is so true. Oh, hey, Eric. How are you? So sorry for turning. You are not late. There was a glitch for me in DoorDash Shop and Pay. Oh no, I was not getting any shops and had to call support twice to get them fix it. Oh, it says that it happens. I'm so sorry you weren't getting shop and pays. I was just talking about shop and pays and how sometimes you get into like a shop and pay, like I'll call it an algorithm. I don't know whether I want to call it an algorithm, but like you get into a shop and pay and they're like, okay, we got a live one. We got somebody who's gonna do shop and pays and they just start giving them to you. And oh my goodness, I'm sorry that happened to you. So, Anthony, club and rock music for you. I can honestly say I don't know whether it would be club music for me. Like I am such an eclectic person when it comes to music. Like it well, I'll probably date myself by saying this, but like the 90s was like my like high school years. So like I do 90s rap sometimes gets me going. Like something that's going to be like inspirational, fast paced, or it might even be like something like today's music that like inspires me. Heck, it could even be Bon Jovi. You guys all know I'm a Bon Jovi fan, but yeah. Uh, you don't like to, Mary, you said you don't like to shop. That actually surprises me. I feel like you would be a really good shopper. There's some really good money, I'm telling you, in some shopping pays. Yeah, when it's 100 outside, shop and pay. I'm telling you, shop and pay is the way to go. Uh, so the 90s reminds you of Freaks and Geeks. That was a show, right, in the 90s? 90s rap videos, right? I'm telling you, something about 90s rap that like gets me gets me going. Like this morning, I was listening to DMX in the car. I'm like, and I was like rocking out the DMX, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess 90s hip hop it is today. That's gonna get me motivated. I don't know. I have such an eclectic oh, my camera just went wacky. I have such an eclectic taste in music. It's crazy. It could even be 80s rock. It could be hair bands. It could be God, there's so much I can listen to that gets me motivated. But, Amanda, I am right there with you. I think it is a good way. You listen to Kim's Side Money Plans. Well, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Right? DMX will get you going. I'm telling you. That's what got me going today. I feel like I can do like a whole live stream just on music. I always said like there were a couple of things I wanted to do if the music world wasn't so competitive. Like I would have loved to gone in, not as a singer, but I would have loved to gone into the music industry just because I love music so much. But hey, Steve, how are you? Welcome. So, as I'm thinking about, you know, ways of motivation, as I'm thinking, I truly love what I do, what we do. I have my own plan. Do you guys have your own plan? Like, is gig work the now? Is gig work like the 1 year plan? Is gig work like the 10-year plan? Like, gig work isn't forever. I mean, I guess it could be forever if you make it forever. For me, I have my own plans. So for me, I don't plan on doing this forever, right? Side money, Kim side money plans, right? It's side money, but it's multiple streams of income coming in. But do you have how what's your future look like for gig work? If you love it so much, maybe it is long-term plan. I love it, but it's not my long-term plan. But yeah, um, thank you. Kim's channel is the most calming place. I love it. I love hanging out with you guys. I love chilling with you guys and really just having fun. Um, so do you guys have plans? Is gig work 1 year for you? Is gig work 5 years for you? 10 years? Let me know. Right now, there's a couple of you guys here. So let me know what's the term for, do you have an expiration date on gig work for you? This would literally be my worst nightmare, 98 items at a Dollar General. That would be like my worst nightmare order ever. I am not a Dollar General. You know, you would love to hear me rap. You don't want to hear me rap, but I'll call it a hidden talent. I know how to rap the entire Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song, but I'm not gonna do it. Um, but my husband makes fun of me all the time because every once in a while it'll come on, and I'll literally rap it from beginning to end. We'll call it a hidden talent. It's maybe because I watched so much Fresh Prince of Bel-Air growing up, like it's embedded in my head. But yeah. Oh, nice. You're on vacation this week. That is amazing. I'm surprised you didn't come to New Jersey, Anthony. Yeah. She is saying, where can you see yourself in 5, 10 years? Where can you see yourself? Are you still going to be doing gig work? Like I said, I have my own plans, Kim side money plans. Do you have your own plans for gig work going forward? Thank you, Thomas. Cheers. This is Dr. Pepper, but cheers. Thank you for my Dr. Pepper. Much appreciated. Yeah, I hear you. Everybody needs a vacation every once in a while, so I'm glad you're on vacay. If you were more financially stable, we'd do less gig work, Everybody's situation is different, right? Mine different from yours. Everybody has their own reasons. Like it is whether you're part-time, whether you're full-time, like everybody has their own reasons for doing gig work and they're valid reasons. And it's okay if this is a 1-year plan. It's okay if this is a 5-year plan. It's okay if you like being your own boss. And hopefully, the gig economy, I don't think the gig economy, in my opinion, is really ever going anywhere. I always say, as long as there's lazy customers out there that want to stay in the comforts of their own home and want to pay for a service, the gig economy is always going to be there. Do I think that other apps will evolve over the years? Do I think that there will be more apps? Yes. Anything that's going to make something more convenient for customers, I think that's what's going to be the wave of the future is how do you make more things more convenient in life for customers? Her rap name? Yeah, I know. Like I said, I it's so funny. Yeah, it's funny. So gig work is temporary for you while I wait for a job to start I had gotten. The job has been pushed off even further, so gig work continues, but honestly, I'm keeping both. That's amazing. Like I said, that's the fun part about what we do, right? Everybody's situation is different, whether it's financial, whether it's the reasons why you do this, but I don't know whether you have to be passionate about this, but I think you have to like it in order to do it. Like I also don't think gig work is for clearly for everybody, right? I think because there's a hustle, there's a grind, and I think people go, at least in my opinion, I think people go into this like, oh, this is really easy. I can pick up and drop off. Like they don't go into it with a business mindset or a business strategy behind it. And they're really like you are running your own business and it might be for fun for some people, it might be you putting some extra money in your pockets, but if you are doing this full time part-time, you can let me know if you're doing this part-time. If you are doing this part-time, how much more money can you be making while you're doing it? Are you maximizing your time while you're out there working? You want to be a full-time mod on social media? Well, that would be really awesome. That would be awesome job to have. It has become a Disney fund. I hear you. Ugh, I'm jealous that you're going to Disney. I really need to plan a Disney trip sometime soon. My daughter keeps asking when we're gonna go. So, oh, Christopher, happy birthday! Did I miss that? You don't want to hear me sing. So, I'm on vacation from utility next week for my birthday, July 3rd. So you're a 4th of July, you baby. Well, happy birthday, Christopher. I'll wish you happy birthday on your birthday, but happy birthday. That's amazing. It's fun this time of year because um there are a lot of people that are on vacation. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing around a shore town, but Cray, how are you? Thank you for being a member for 7 months. How are you, my friend? Um, so this is going to be my last question for you guys of the night. So people always ask me, and I'm going to answer this. People always ask me, what is my favorite app to work? So take a minute right now. Let me know what is your favorite app to work? And then I'll let you know what my answer is. We'll get your answers in first, and then I'll let you know what my answer is. Christopher Taylor, it seems like you have so much fun on cruises. Like, I feel like you had so much fun on your last cruise that you went on. I know people who love cruises. I went on one cruise and I said I would never do it again. I had such a bad experience. I went on a cruise in my 20s and I think everything that could go wrong did go wrong and it made me not want to do a cruise again. So I know people who love them and I don't think I am one of those people. They're closing Dollywood? Oh, that's sad. Wow. So, cray cray, yours is Instacart? That's interesting. Or are you asking if mine is Instacart? So, Brian, yours is catering. Mary, yours right now is Spark. That's awesome. Wait a minute. Didn't you just say you didn't like shopping, or is it just the grocery pickups? Okay, so your favorite is Uber Eats. Okay. Instacart, even though it don't pay like I would like. I hear you on that one. Okay, I don't know. Well, I can't do no children. I have a child, so I would love to do it. No, I can't. I would have to take my daughter with me. So no, that would probably be out. But I heard Virgin is a really good cruise line. But until she becomes an adult, that would be out of mine. Okay, so yours is Instacart, cray cray. Okay, anybody else want to weigh in on what your favorite app is? Does anybody want to guess what my favorite app is? I would actually, that should have been a better question. Does anybody want to guess what my favorite app is? Wow. I always feel like saying duh. Shift and my off app catering. That's awesome. Delivered. Okay. Hmm. Uber Eats because of no AR required. Amen to that. Okay. So Uber at 3 a.m. Holy man, I'm asleep at 3 a.m. I don't think I've ever worked these gig apps in the middle of the night. No, I think the latest I've ever worked a gig app is 12. I think that's the latest I think I've ever stayed out. And it's because I was like on a roll and I just kept going and I didn't even realize the time because the orders just kept coming in. So, okay. So you'll go with Thomas with Uber Eats. Okay. So you're going to guess deliver that. Okay. Interesting. DoorDash is your favorite app. Okay. Okay. Well, anybody else want to guess before I give you my answer? So Shift is now tracking reliability. Interesting. Okay. Okay. I don't have a favorite app. My favorite app is the app that's going to give me money. That's what it boils down to, right? Like I can honestly say I like something about every single app and I hate something about every single app that I work. I feel like there's nothing that's like the perfect out there. Don't trick us. It's funny, but I've said this before, right? So I have 16 apps. And, you know, do I work at DoorDash and Uber Eats the most? Probably yes. I hate that you have to maintain an acceptance rate on DoorDash, and it frustrates me just like it frustrates every DoorDash driver out there. I love Uber Eats because there is no acceptance rate, but you have to get through. I can't even tell me how many orders until you get an order that's worth taking. Grubhub for me, it's just my slowest app that I have. But this is a thing, and this is what this is all somewhat all about, right? Multi-apping. Whatever app is going to give me an order that is going to keep my wheels moving and is going to make me money. I don't care what app it is. I'm taking it and I'm liking it because it's giving me money. And that can go for grocery, that can go for catering. Like it all adds up at the end of the day. And it's all about multiple streams of income coming in, side money coming in to equal a week's worth of work, a day's worth of work. And all of these combined make me money. And like I said, there's pros and cons about every single app that there is. I would challenge every single one of you to find me the perfect app that there are no cons to working. Like, I feel like there is no such thing. Everybody has an opinion on apps. Everybody likes their own apps that they work. Everybody has apps that make them money. For me, I'm about combining them all to make my goals and to make my money. So whatever is going to give me money, that's the app that I'm going to like. So that's my answer. uh, 16 apps is still impressive. Keep them coming. That's the only thing I can say, right? So I don't care what the app is. Just give me an order so I can make money, whether it's catering, grocery, food delivery. I don't care. I'm an equal opportunity apper at this point, hence the word multi-apping. So I'll always challenge also everybody. If you have a new app that you tried that I haven't tried yet, send it my way and I'll be more than happy to try it out if it's available in my market. A lot of times, which is weird, is some of these apps that everybody's like trying out, and like I feel like my area is the last to get, and it's so weird because I'm in the busiest area of the United States, and some of these catering apps haven't even come to my area yet. It's so weird. So if it's available in my area, I will try it, send it my way, but I'm always willing to try a new app if it's available and if it's something I can physically do and it can fit into my car. That's another thing. So Grubhub is forgotten by so many. It's still out there. I still have a driver in my own market that kills it on Grubhub. So it's still viable. I feel like all these apps now work all the same, right? I feel like the more you use it, the more you take orders, the more they're going to give you orders, right? So, and I'm going to give Uber Eats, for example. Like I started on, forget what day it was, sometime last week. I said, like, let me turn on Uber Eats, see what's coming in. And I got an Uber Eats order. And then I got another Uber Eats. Like they just literally kept sending me orders and good orders before my drop off even happened. And I got on Uber Eats a roll. So I went where the money is. Follow the money, they say, right? So I just followed the money. So sometimes you can do that, but I feel like the more you work these apps, so whether it's DoorDash and taking orders on DoorDash, Uber Eats, like a lot of times the more you work it, the more success you have getting orders. But have you heard about Jackrabbit? No, I have not heard about that. Interesting. Jackrabbit is great. I'm going to have to look into it. Okay. I'm going to have to take a look at it. Okay, you guys. So, with that being said, that was my last question to you guys of the evening. I hope everybody has a fantastic week out there. I hope you guys stay cool. We're going in for another 2 days of 90-degree. Tomorrow it's supposed to be really bad, and lots of thunderstorms. So, guys, this is like bad weather thunderstorms. If you're in areas that get thunderstorms, just be careful while you're out there. You don't do anything stupid, and be careful while you're driving. But Kim doesn't brag. That's how you run your business. No, hey, I'm only here to share with you what I do. Whether you do something different, that's up to you. But this is how I am successful. At least in my standards, I'm successful. To somebody else's standards, it might not be successful. But you know what? I feel like we're all in this together, right? That's the whole entire point of this Tuesday Night Live, is for us to hang out and be each other's coworkers. We don't have coworkers, right? So it's all about us being together and sharing our experiences and what works, what doesn't work. And you know what? Hopefully, I motivate you guys along the way. And if you need to get a good kick in the butt, yeah, I can be good that way too. I'm just kidding. So, anyway, guys, everybody, Please stay safe out there. Please stay cool out there. Stay hydrated. And I will see you guys in the next live, in the next video. And that's it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here. Bye, everyone.
Stop believing now. We can be who we are. This is the word that you heard. It's got groove, it's got meaning. Increases the time as the